I know what it's like to be confined to a wheelchair. I've been there, but I'm out of it. So for me, I'm grateful for my second chance. Hence, even sometimes I know that I feel I'm pushing myself, but I push myself because I know what it's like not to be able.
There's a version of a woman the world sees. She's polished, composed, and holding everything together. And then there's the version she's becoming behind the scenes. The one navigating marriage, motherhood, identity, and the quiet pressure to keep showing up. Today's conversation is about that woman. I'm joined by Lenore Goss-Matjie. She's known to many from the Mommy Club. She's the founder and CEO of Styled by Lenore, CEO of Lenore Inc. She's also the chairperson of the South African State Theatre and board member of the South African Dance Council. Now, I met Lenore a few months ago, and within minutes of speaking to her, I felt her heart, her spirit, and her depth. And there was something different about her. We ended up speaking for so long about things that really matter, about life and family, growth and purpose. And I just remember thinking in that moment, more women need to hear this woman's heart. Because behind the image is a woman building a life, she's raising a family, and carrying the heart to impact lives beyond her own. And that's the conversation we're having today. Welcome to the Emerge era.
Erin, thank you so much for having me. An honor to be here.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for taking time just to come and share your heart and your story. I truly do believe that many people or many women do feel that way, you know. Let's start there. You feel like, you know, there's so many things that you have to have your life together. There's so much expectation upon you. And the pressures to keep showing up every single day, despite you know, your challenges and all that you go through on a daily. And so perhaps maybe you can share from your side, you know, what does that look like for you? Because like I mentioned to you earlier before we started shooting, is like we see this incredible woman, gorgeous, powerful, strong, you know, raising a family with her kids. And we see the put together version. And I know, because I know for myself what it means to, you know, just hold a family down. What does behind the scenes look like for you?
Behind the scenes looks like me just being Lenore, me just showing up and trying my best every day. I always say there's no such thing as perfection. There are some days that are good. There are some days that are not so good. There are some days that I have it together, and there are some days that literally everything falls apart. For example, this morning I came running here and the nail came off. You know, it flew off. So you show up, it is what it is. And I say that when you are truly unable to, it's also okay not to be okay. It's also okay to take time out for yourself, recuperate, and start again. Dust yourself off and start again. But I think that's the thing. People look at somebody, for myself, for example, they look at you, they see you showing up, they see you dressed up, hair, makeup, clothes, everything put together. And that's not necessarily the case. We don't have everything put together, everything all everything aligned. We don't. And I think once we can start normalizing that, once we as a woman, mothers, working woman, whether you're a housewife or working woman, once we start normalizing it and chatting about it and speaking about the trials and tribulations that one goes through, then I think it'll also take pressure off women to constantly feel the need to, I have to show up, you know. Yes, show up, but in moderation, in perspective. If you're able to, yes. If you're unable to, it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, I love that. I love in perspective, because my situation today is not necessarily the way yours is going. And so I sometimes, as the women, we put pressure on ourselves, like, okay, I don't have it together. But you often compare yourself to what the next woman is going through. And whereas, you know, your seasons are completely different. But I love that, because wherever you are at, that's your perspective, and show up accordingly and 100%. How you, the best you can. That's amazing. I know when we chatted the last time, you know, you shared you shared to me about an illness that you've been dealing with that people don't even know about. I was wondering if you could maybe just tell us a little bit more about that and what that means for you on a daily basis.
Okay, so I live with, it's now classified as an autoimmune condition, fibromyalgia. But it's a condition that affects the musculoskeletal area of the body. So that basically is the entire body. It affects the joints. It affects literally entire life. It's not fatal, but it certainly most is degenerative.
Sure.
So there are days where I literally can't get out of bed, literally.
Oh, wow.
The body's stiff, I'm in spasm, I'm swollen, there's hyper inflammation.
Wow.
And I've been living with this. My son is now, he's just turned 21. I've been living with it for 21 years.
Wow.
So I sustained an injury, an aluminium, a scaffolding type of ladder fell on me when I was 29 weeks expecting with him.
Oh
He was
my
my second
God.
child. And that was literally the beginning of my new normal.
Wow.
Bear in mind, I was a school teacher at the time, an educator. I owned one of the biggest dance studios in KZN. So I was a busy bee. I was running
Wow.
this dance studio, teaching at school,
Yeah.
in the fashion space as well, designing outfits for my dancers, doing hair, makeup, etc., judging competitions. I was a busybody. So I was highly pregnant, and this happened. The scaffolding ladder fell on my back. And I didn't know what was wrong. I just felt this extreme pain from the head all the way down to my feet. And the next thing, I was in hospital. I couldn't have x-rays done, obviously, to protect the unborn child. And he was born prematurely. He had a few complications, but God is good. He's an amazing young man today. Tall, healthy, perfectly healthy. But for the longest time, for almost 2 years, I was intermittently in a wheelchair,
Wow.
where I didn't know why the pain wasn't going away. I was struggling to walk. At one point, I did try to go back to school with crutches and collapsed because my body went into spasm. And that was just, fortunately, my husband had a good friend of his who was in the sports sector and said to him, you need to take your wife overseas, because I had been to literally every specialist in South Africa. Nobody knew what was wrong with me. The last person, the neurologist, said to my husband, maybe it's a psychological thing. Maybe it's a mental thing that's going on with her.
Oh my gosh.
Being a dancer, knowing your body, studying the anatomy of the body, you know your body. I knew that this wasn't normal. And which mother doesn't want to carry her little baby,
Of course,
doesn't want to look after her child? I couldn't. So we traveled to Germany, and I went into a pain clinic, a pain hospital. I was there for a day, underwent a couple of tests. By the end of that day, it was a Dr. Hemke. I'll never forget. Dr. Hemke sat us down and explained to me that what you have is a condition called fibromyalgia. It was gibberish to me. I didn't know what that was. Now to understand what is this. But the relief also of finally knowing what is wrong with you, rather than people looking at you and wondering, okay, today she looks a little bit okay, but tomorrow she looks like a complete mess. Hair falling out, lumps all over the body, marks all over the body, blue marks. And within that, people were like, her husband must be abusing her, not realizing these are the side effects of the condition that I'm having with all these marks over my body. So it was now learning to find out about this condition. What does fibromyalgia mean, and how do you treat it? Well, the treatment that they used for fibromyalgia, which I tried, we went on, I landed up back in hospital because they thought I was having a heart attack.
Oh my God.
Only to find out I am allergic to the medication that they use to help treat fibromyalgia.
Wow.
So currently, up to today, there's still no cure for fibromyalgia. I can't use the medication that's used to manage the condition.
So how do you manage?
For the longest time, I was on chronic medication that every doctor that we went to prescribed. Literally, I was taking about 20 tablets a day. Living in a zombie mode, literally. Not knowing what's going on around you, being there, not being there. And I decided a couple of years ago, I made a conscious decision when I was in hospital, and one of my daughters asked me in hospital, Mommy, are you going to die? And that was like a life-changing moment for me. That was a light bulb moment. And I thought, my kids are constantly living with this worry of, if she goes into hospital, is she coming out? And my life in hospital was literally, when I say every other month, I literally spent every other month for a couple of days or a week in the hospital, because I was getting treatment, but treatment that would work, and also to check, is she going to react, you know?
Okay, yeah.
And when she said that to me, I thought, no, Lenore,
Oh,
this
that's
is not the
intentional.
life for your kids. I thought, you know what? I'm going to show up. I'm going to get up. I'm going to put that makeup on. I'm going to style the hair that falls. That's why it's short, because my hair falls as a result of the condition.
Oh.
Style the hair. My orthopedic, that said, after multiple surgeries to the knee and the arms, Lenore, you're not allowed to carry heavy bags. You're not allowed to wear heels. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do that. I was like, listen, so when I go for my appointments to him,
Yeah.
I rock up in sky-high heels. Like,
I love it.
don't tell me that I can't do this. I said,
Yes.
listen, doc, if
Oh
I'm going
my
to
gosh.
dislocate, let me dislocate in style. Like, let me look amazing.
I love it.
And Erin, that's the thing.
I
I've
love
got
that
to a
spirit.
point where I've got to laugh about it. I've got to see the light in it. I've got to see the positive in it, because I must say, for me, it changed my outlook on how I view life, on how I interact with people, and not to be a judgmental human being, because in a split second, life can change.
Wow.
And you don't know what the next person is going through. So for me, all I can do is listen. There's so much in just being a kind human being, just having a kind heart, having a listening ear, being less judgmental.
Sure.
Yeah, people can do what they want to do. I'm not God. They're not answerable to me at the end of it. You do you, and if it makes you happy and if you're okay with it, that's fine. But for me, it's not my place to make your life more miserable, because I don't know what you're going through currently.
I just feel like there's nothing else to say after that. Oh my God. No, but because you know why? Because like I'm just thinking about the hair example that you used. Like the hair short. Nobody will know that. Who knows that about you? And I think that's your point you're trying to make. Like people judge you based on what you look like, but they have no clue
100%.
behind the scenes what's going on. I don't think anybody, I mean, if I had seen you, if I watch your life, I would never know about the disease that you're managing every single day. So thank you for sharing that, and just like showing that, you know, it doesn't matter what you're going through. The decision that you make and how you choose to show up and how you choose to look at the situation determines then how you live in that space.
100%. But having said that, there are bad days, and
I'm sure.
I don't want to take away from that, so that I portray this that, no, listen, you must be this person that shows up all no. Like there are many days that are not okay. And I'm just so blessed that I've got an amazing husband. I have amazing kids that are my support structure. And they know sometimes before I know that, listen, she's not having a good day today. The mood has changed. She's a little bit snappier. She's hunched today. She's a bit more hunched. So it means that she's stiffening up in the back and that. So sometimes they see it before I do. And I mean, now they just make a joke about it. Me and my eldest one, if I'm a little bit snappy and in a mood, she'll be like, have you taken your medication today? Or maybe you should go to the room and just rest
just take
a
some
bit.
time,
Just rest.
Mom.
You want a cup of coffee? Go and rest.
Oh, shame.
But that's you know what? It is what it is. I just think God has given me a second chance. There are so many people that haven't made it out of the wheelchair. I know what it's like to be confined to a wheelchair. I've been there, but I'm out of it. So for me, I'm grateful for my second chance. Hence, even sometimes I know that I feel I'm pushing myself, but I push myself because I know what it's like not to be able to push yourself, not to have that choice of, I can feel that I'm not okay, but I'm still going to go for it. I'm still going to push. I'm just grateful for the second opportunity. And I vowed I would show up where I can. I would speak about what I go through authentically, without trying to hide, without trying to, it's okay if you're not feeling okay on a certain day. It's okay. My mornings never begin before 8 o'clock because I'm still thawing out, as my children call it. So that's why for me, anything after 8, I can do meetings at home, online and that, but anything physically normally for me, I've got to prep for it at least a day or two before if I know I'm going to be up and out early. So there's a lot of preparation behind the scenes to just function, normally. There's a lot of preparation that goes on mentally, physically, emotionally. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes.
Sure. That's very powerful. I think let's jump on to family and just, you've been speaking about your amazing kids and we've seen just the incredible just achievements that's been, showcased. And what does that mean for you as a mom, just to see them flourish and to see them doing really well?
As a mom, all I want is to see my children happy and successful. And that is different to different people.
Yes.
Happiness and success is very different to different people. Look, my kids do well at school academically. Me as a medical doctor now. Alessandro is just qualified as a pilot.
Amazing.
And he's finishing off his BCom. And then my baby is in grade 12. That's a future politician.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah,
Nice.
that child's got a mouth and a mother's child.
Love it.
But she does it in such a diplomatic way. You'll never know.
You'll never see it coming.
No. You'll never see it coming.
Okay.
But honestly, and I always say, I can't take credit for it. I give credit to God, because
absolutely.
for the situation that I'm in, for what I've been through, my children could have turned to who knows what.
Yeah.
They've got a mother which for the longest time wasn't present in their lives the way I would like to have been, because of my condition, because of my health condition. For the longest time, I felt I wasn't good enough. I wasn't showing up enough for them. I couldn't confirm play dates and that when they were growing up, because I didn't know if I'd be able to do it. So they spent a lot of time at home with me, looking after me.
Wow.
Mia used to bath me. She used to shower me, change me on days where I was stiff and I couldn't. Alessandro, when his little sister was born, would jump in the cot and feed her because he didn't want mum to wake up.
Wow.
She was so out with the medication that he just wanted me to stay in bed and rest. So they took on responsibilities far earlier than they should have. And they could have had resentment towards me for that.
Sure.
But for me, even in the condition that I was in, even in the circumstance that I was in, it was always just letting them know that I love them. As little as it may have come across, that was the most I could give at the time. And I think it's made them better human beings.
Amazing.
Because of it. They've seen firsthand what suffering looks like.
Wow.
They've seen firsthand what it looks like not to have everything normal, not to have the normal, typical family. Alessandro used to have his friends ask, "What's wrong with your mum? She wasn't limping yesterday. Why is she limping today? Why has she got a limp?" And he'd say, he was little then, "Don't you know my mum's body's broke? She's got a broke body. She's got a broke body. Don't you know that?" But for him, that was just normal.
It
His
was
mum's got a
normal.
broke body.
Oh,
Gianna
mama.
always drew me with crutches or with a wheelchair next to
Wow.
me just in case. That was how she used to draw her mum in her pictures growing up. So it's given them sensitive hearts. It's given them kind hearts. I've got a son that does not mind carrying his mother's bag around because his mother's not supposed to be carrying big, heavy bags, which she still does just to go against what the doctors are saying. But he has no issue in it because that's his normal. That's his normal. That's all he knows, and he sees no embarrassment in that. Mia, I believe, has gone into the medical profession because for the longest time, she was a caregiver to me.
Wow.
Up to today, she's still, looks after mum. Mum, there's a new treatment that's out apparently. Mum, apparently this. About a month ago, they were in the a session that they were doing. They were treating patients with fibromyalgia.
Wow, look at that.
And she came home and she said, "Mum, I didn't realize that that's what you went through, the extent of what you went through." Because remember, you also try and hide so much from your kids. They see you suffering. You don't want to
Put all of that on
everything
them.
on them and tell them the extent of it.
Yeah.
But they've done incredibly well. My heart smiles.
Yes.
I'm grateful to God. And for me, that is my success.
Yes.
That's what I see as true wealth. That's what I see as success. That's what I see as true happiness. That when I see my children being such incredible, kind, good-hearted human beings that they are today, despite all the challenges that they've also had. For me, I'm happy.
Yes.
They're holistic kids. They're not entitled children.
Beautiful.
they're just good human beings. And for me, I think that's what every parent wants, is to just see their kids happy and that they are good human beings.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love that so much. So I think we're going to jump on just to, identity and emerging, and sort of like, where do you believe, or what do you believe is your next sort of place of emergence? Where are you? Is there something that you may be working on, whether it be business or family, personal, maybe, that you stepping out of the old and coming into a new version?
So definitely, yes. My daughters and son keep saying my life began at 45.
Okay.
I'm going to be 48 this year. They're like, mom started living at 45.
I love it.
Something happened.
Yes.
They were a lot older, more independent, and not through choice, but through circumstance. My life was more based at home as a stay-at-home mother. I couldn't hold down a 9-to-5 job. I was medically boarded. So I can't hold down a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
So I had to do something that I can do from home.
Yeah.
That's where the fashion and beauty and that came from, because remember, my background is dance.
Yes.
I've been doing that from the age of 12, 13 years old. So the fashion was there. I was designing outfits already. I was doing makeup already for my students. I was sewing my own outfits as well. I danced with my husband. So that was always there. So that just sparked another avenue to say, all right, I can't hold a 9-to-5. I can't be an educator anymore. I had to give up my dance studio, over 200 students.
Wow.
I had to give that up because I couldn't physically teach you any longer. So I put that into getting involved into the administration of dance and the politics of dance, and then getting involved in the fashion space. Hence, the brand Lenore came about, where there were no shoes that I thought were lovely looking shoes, glamorous flat shoes, because I couldn't wear heels for the longest time. I couldn't find what I wanted. And then if I did find something, it was at some ridiculous price. So I thought, okay, I'll design my own. And I'll manufacture my own. I'll get them made. And that's how the brand Lenore came about.
Beautiful.
So it started off with flats, with sandals, but very bespoke, very curated, but affordable luxury.
Awesome.
Absolutely affordable luxury. The doctors that say don't carry huge handbags.
Yeah.
Okay, so I designed my own little handbag that when I have evening functions, I wear my own brand. I wear myself. I designed that. And then with the hair issue, where the hair falls out every now and then, when it does grow, there's patches. So the best was to keep it short.
Okay.
I designed ready-made looks.
So
that on a day where the wrists are not working properly and I can't blow dry my hair, or it's fallen out a bit too much and I'm really conscious about it, I'll put a doek on. And for me, it's not just for me, but it's for somebody else who may be going through, not necessarily what I'm going through, but something similar. There's alopecia. There are people that do suffer with hair loss. There are cancer patients.
Absolutely.
If I can make it easier for you, because I know what the struggle was, if I can make it easier for you by creating something that's ready-made, that all you have to do is just place on your head, and that's your crown. You're a queen. You are a crown wearing that.
I love it so much.
So that's where the brand Lenore came from, and it's personal. There's a story behind it.
Absolutely.
And I always say, you know what, it's fine. And if it's not meant for everybody as well, I'm so okay with that. Because I know why I created the brand. I know the story and the messaging and the heart behind it.
Sure.
So if it resonates with you, 100%, please go ahead, support Lenore, wear Lenore.
Yes.
But if it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay also.
It's
That's
not
okay.
for everyone.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And I've come to be okay with that. I wasn't initially, but I've come to be okay with that. It's a brand that has a story and that resonates with people, and it's meant to truly uplift. It's truly meant to make a person feel better. Even when you're feeling at your worst, it's meant to make you feel better. If you can't wear the heel, but you've got your lovely outfit on, you've got a beautiful sandal, you've got a beautiful handbag that you're still able to accessorize with. So
I love that so much.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful, because it's purpose behind the brand.
There's definitely purpose behind the. One has to be intentional today, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're not doing something with intention, impact, and purpose, what's the point?
Exactly.
What's the point? So for me, it's showing up in my best way, whatever my best is on that day. And with the kids being a bit older, there's more time now to navigate and see what else is there out for you. I've always been an advocate for speaking up for people that don't have a voice, particularly with people who are living with autoimmune conditions, that are living with invisible chronic illnesses because you don't see what I'm going through.
Yeah.
It's invisible.
Yeah.
And you get judged on that. So I'm now a voice piece for those people. And I do it with the absolute honor, the absolute, for me, it's actually a blessing because God has provided me with platforms that I'm able to engage and I'm able to speak on that. So that I'm actively voicing that. Awesome. And then also when I was approached to do the Mummy Club, I was very intentional before I agreed to do that because I'd been asked and approached for other reality series as well, which I declined.
Okay.
Mummy Club resonated because I was very clear. This is what I want to speak about. I want to speak about motherhood, being a woman, the challenges, trials and tribulations, but also the good side of it because it's not all bad, you know. It's the balance or the lack of balance.
Yeah.
Family, marriage. But to be authentic about it, listen, it's called reality for a reason.
Yeah.
Let's be real. If I'm inviting people into my home, let's be real. Let's talk about the real day-to-day issues that one goes through. And so for me, I saw that platform as a perfect opportunity to bring about all these things that I want to speak about and advocate for and normalize and make people see that, listen, actually, we're all the same. We all go through the same stuff at different times of our lives, but we all go through the same stuff. For me, it's about normalizing what it is that a person goes through on a day-to-day challenge. And then, yes, the business part came of it. My foundation, Lenore Inc., where that's where we go and we give back. We go into areas that nobody wants to go into.
That's what I wanted to speak to you about. Exactly.
The areas that nobody wants to go into, those are the areas that I love going into because for me, it's not about the money that you're leaving. Or sometimes it's just about the fact that you took time out. It's your time. You took time out to go and spend with other people, especially in areas that are so disadvantaged. I mean, just not long ago, I went with my youngest daughter. She's got that type of heart as well that wants to do community work. All of them do, but the others are busy studying. She had time over the weekend. We went into Soweto. I mean, where you go into a shack where there are in the region of about 60 to 80 children from the age of 3 months old to 6 years old being looked after by one caregiver. No running water, no sanitation, no electricity.
Wow.
And you think to yourself, my goodness, this can't be. Not in 2026, not in the times that we're living in. This can't be. So for me, that's what gives me purpose. That's what gives me joy. That's what makes my heart feel at ease is when, yes, you could give money. Yes, you could give clothes. Yes, you could give X, Y, and Z. Sometimes all a child wants or all another person wants is your time. To say that, I see you. I'm here for you. And taking my kids along with that, for them to be involved in that so that they also get to see firsthand the opposite of how people live. They're very blessed and fortunate that they live really good, privileged lives, you know, but there are others that are not so fortunate. What is it that you can do? Before you're waiting for everybody else, what can you do in your personal capacity before you say, government doesn't do enough, so-and-so doesn't do enough. So what are you doing? I'm not saying go out and change a whole community, but you can start with one person at a time. One person at a time, one kind act at a time. The power of kindness is priceless. It's absolutely priceless. And time is priceless. Giving people time. It may not be hours. It may just be a little bit of your time. The point is you gave some of your time to the next person.
Absolutely. I think I've heard someone speak about the fact that, you know, poverty is not so much about not having material things, but it's about the effect that it has on your psyche. So feelings of shame, insecurity, insignificance, devaluing yourselves. And that's why a lot of times, you know, people struggle to get out and to believe that they can do more, get out of that space, get out of that environment because of the shame it puts on you.
Absolutely.
And so I think when people, you know, when you go and you extend a hand to someone, you literally, your time is literally saying, come, it's possible somebody sees you, someone believes in you, somebody
Absolutely.
you know, understands what you're going through, at least trying to be there and trying to understand your situation.
Absolutely.
But I think it changes the game completely. Even if we feel like, oh, it's just my time, I'm just going there for a little bit. But that 1 hour that you spend there could be the life-defining moment for that young kid.
That could be the light bulb moment
Yeah.
for that child, because suddenly they are, wait, maybe I actually am worthy.
Sure.
Maybe actually I am somebody. Somebody's coming and they see me.
Yes, yes.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes to spark, or to try and spark that mindset, to change the mindset of the child that doesn't feel good enough, that doesn't feel worthy of. We're all born worthy, but we're all born into circumstance, into different circumstances. Some of us are blessed to be born into a better circumstance than others. But that's why I do believe that it is those people that are born into better circumstances to go back, go back and lend a hand, lend a hand and try and help that person up out of that circumstance. And then it's a ripple effect. Because you did that to that person, they then will feel the need that they need to go and do that for the next person as well. And so the ripple effect begins, and so the cycle begins. And that's how we've got to do it. We cannot keep blaming and saying, I don't have enough money, I don't have the resources, I don't have people behind me, I don't have support, or it's government's job, government needs to do this. We are human beings, we have minds as well, and we can decide, yes, instead of staying at home and relaxing or whatever it is that we're doing, a little bit of your time just to give to the next person is all that it takes.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love that so much. I think there's a saying that goes, bad things happen because good people say nothing or do nothing.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, even just using your voice for people that can't speak for themselves is incredible for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then in the creative space, I mean, being a creative, forced to be an academic growing up, being in a household where everybody are educators. My dad was a principal of a school.
Oh,
and that.
wow.
So listen,
You
90% wasn't good enough. When you got 90, but why didn't you get 95? Like, listen, but I feel I was born a creative person. My brain is wired creatively. And for me, it's still sad today that in this day and age, creatives are still fighting for their space. They're still fighting to be recognized. They're still fighting to be paid their worth.
Yeah.
Listen, if I go to my doctor and I go to a lawyer, there are consultation fees that we pay. So why is it that when we engage with somebody in the creative sector, it's their time, it's their expertise that we want to
give them exposure?
I've given you exposure. I'll give you a PR pack. I'll give you this. I'll give you airtime. Listen, we've got the airtime. We've got
thanks.
No, this is my craft. This is what people study for this. I've studied. I've worked hard to get to where I am. Pay me my worth.
Absolutely.
So I also use the platforms that I have because I'm a creative myself. I use the platforms to speak up on the support that the creative sector is not given, the recognition that the creative sector is not given. Listen, we contribute immensely to our economy. We contribute immensely to the South African economy. We are big players in our South African economy, and we need to be given recognition. So I use the platforms that I have to fight for. No. There needs to be better pay. Pay firstly, not gifting, not this thing that they want to give people. No,
trade exchange.
No trade exchanges. We need to be paid our worth, but also for the child. So being a former educator, being in the classroom, seeing the child that is not your natural math science student. How do we cater for that child?
Absolutely.
So the education system at the moment caters for the child that is more the STEM child, but what about the STEAM child? Where's the A in that? Where's the artistic child that's not being catered for? Why are all those types of subjects, unless you're in a private school now, why are they removed? Where's the needlework, the handwork, the woodwork, the home economics?
Non-existent.
So those kids that are wired creatively are on a back foot.
Sure.
They're not catered for, they're not nurtured, they're made to feel as if they are not the clever ones.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, I believe the absolute opposite of that. I just feel our brains are wired differently. Like how you nurture a certain stream of children, you need to also nurture the other stream of children. And remember, I'm a mom who's got a daughter who's a medical doctor, and the one who's a pilot, and the one who wants to do law.
Yes.
they're not necessarily creative children, but because I'm a
You are
creative person
creative,
and I
yes.
was an educator in the space where I saw how the child that was a creative felt less than, didn't feel good enough.
Yeah.
I always promoted those kids. I mean, when I taught my kids at school to do their tables or to do spelling and that, we rapped. We did it through rapping, we did it through poetry, we did it through singing,
Oh my
we
word,
did it
that's
through
awesome.
acts and skits.
Sure.
We had beatboxes in my classroom. But did the kids learn?
Yes.
Yes, they learned, but I just catered to the child that the system was not catering to. So I'm bringing that now years later when I'm able to do, and I have the platform, I'm bringing that right back in and I'm saying, right, how are we going to change this? How are we going to disrupt our education system to make sure that our creative children are also seen to? We're not saying don't continue seeing to our STEM child. Obviously, yes. But there's creativity in there as well, you know.
You can't use a cookie cutter system for every child.
Not.
Every child is different. And I think that's what's so flawed about the education system.
And who tells our stories best? Who are the storytellers?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we want our South African story, our African story told globally. Who are those people to tell that? It's our creatives.
Absolutely. No,
so we need to give them their worth, give them their recognition, and we will continue. We will march on fighting this fight to make sure that they get recognized.
It's such an important conversation because it needs to progress. In this day and age, I mean, like you said, it's 2026 and we're still having these conversations.
Shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be at all. But anyway, I think we've come sort of to the end of our time together, and I know you and I can talk for hours because I can just sit and listen to you. And I love it because you speak straight from the heart. And that's really that's what really touches me. But thank you so much for sharing your story and just inspiring us today and the viewers. Before we go, if there's one thing that you can say to a woman that's out there that's feeling like maybe she's not enough, maybe she's struggling in a certain area, what kind of encouragement can you give to her just to sort of lift her up today?
For me, it's to embrace your authentic self.
Okay.
Show up authentically. Don't be afraid to say, I don't know. Because if you don't speak up and say, you don't know, how are you going to know? How are you going to navigate? How are you going to find out more? Show up your authentic self.
Yes.
Ask the questions. Even if you feel silly, even if you feel just show up, ask the questions. The worst that a person can do to you is say no. And no has never killed anybody, has it? Sometimes it's just been motivation because you said no, because you said I can't. Let me show you what I'm going to do. For me, authenticity is everything.
Brilliant.
Being an authentic person, being a kind human being, believing in yourself, even when nobody else believes in you. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. No is not the end.
Yes.
No is just God's way of saying, okay, that's not meant for you. It means that there's another door that I am opening for you. And not to be a judgmental human being. Like, just be kind. You don't know what the next person is going through. Just be a kind human being. And the rest will see to itself. Literally, the rest will see to itself. I'm living proof of that. I'm living proof of that. I could have been an unmarried person. I could have been a person that landed up in squalor, that landed up, that didn't have a family.
Yeah.
And I just want to say also, I when I speak about family, I speak about it from here because honestly, if it wasn't for my family, if it wasn't for my husband, if it was not for my kids, Lenore would not be sitting here. That's just the God's honest truth.
Yeah.
Lenore would not be sitting here. They've been my rock. They've been my inspiration when I'm not feeling that I'm worthy of or capable of, because we do have those moments.
Yeah.
They have been my cheerleaders to say, but you can. You can. And we're here with you. We're sticking through this with you.
Yes.
Bad, good, whether you can walk, whether you can't walk, whether the hair's all gone, or we are sticking with you. You are stuck with us. So that has truly been my blessing. And the other thing, family doesn't have to be blood. I also just want to say that family doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be your blood relative that shows up for you.
Sure.
The world has gotten to show me that, sometimes family are those people that have just walked the journey with you, that have picked up the phone when nobody else has, just to check on you. The person that has asked, is there anything that I can do for you? If your kids need anything, if I can offer them a lift, that is family. That is relationship. So
That's beautiful.
honor those relationships. And your circle doesn't have to be big either.
Yes.
I'm quite okay with the small circle.
That's very good. I love that. That's our next episode. We need to unpack that.
Listen.
There's a lot in there. But thank you so much. I had an awesome time chatting to you as always. All the best. God's blessing upon everything that you're doing at the moment, and your family and your family and you are an inspiration to a lot of people. And even though people may not say it, I can promise you it's felt, and you guys showing up the way you do just resonates, and it just shares that glimmer of hope and faith in believing that that good things are still happening, that family is important. And thank you so much for that.
Absolutely. No, thank you. And thank you so much. I must say thank you to you for what you are doing, for also using your voice. For you and I showing young girls like us that look like us, that they are capable, and that they can achieve, and that what our environment and communities that we grew up in do not define us.
Absolutely.
They don't define us. Yes, they are foundation, but they don't define us. So I must say thank you to you also for all that you are doing, and for the platform that you are creating to make sure that we have these important and authentic conversations that are needed. And I wish you everything of the best, strength to strength. God's blessing may cover you, cover your family, cover your family around you, your extended family around you. And really, honestly, thank you for what you are doing. It's powerful, it's impactful, it's purposeful. There's a mission, and they see it. They see it, even if they don't want to admit it. They see it. They see it. So you must just grow from strength to strength as well. And we're here to support you.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
We're definitely here to support you.
What I took from this conversation is that to build something, it doesn't necessarily need to be big or in the visible moments, but it's built in the quiet decisions and the daily choices, the unseen sacrifices that really shape who we are, who we become, and how we rise. And I think that's what's really so powerful about this conversation, that you don't have to have everything figured out to build something meaningful. You just have to be intentional, show up, and be your authentic self.